Hello everyone, Oh the Indignity here. Now some truly massive news from just a moment ago. The official Thomas & Friends YouTube channel posted the trailer for the new Thomas & Friends special coming out in September. And in today's video, I'm going to be disclosing my thoughts on this. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now I'm going to start off by playing the trailer without talking about it, just so you guys can see it if you haven't already. Now, if you already have seen it and don't want to see it again, skip to the timestamp on screen.
Hi, I'm Thomas the Tank Engine. Join me on Sodor.
Around every bend, there's someone who needs help.
I can be a helper.
A problem to solve.
Thank you both.
Our pleasure.
And no one is more excited to help than Thomas.
Full steam ahead.
Join Thomas and his friends
We're a team here on Sodor.
for exciting adventures, unexpected surprises,
You saved me. We thought you might need help.
and songs you'll be singing long after the journey ends.
Thomas, I'm a helpful engine. Let's have fun and get things done.
Because every delivery,
You're doing splendidly.
every challenge,
I can do this.
and every adventure is better when friends work together.
Thank you for being so helpful.
That's what friends do.
Thomas and Friends Railway Stories. Really Helpful Engines Special. Available on YouTube September 17th and Netflix September 30th.
Now the very first thing that I noticed when watching the trailer is just how crisp and high quality everything looks. In my opinion, everything was extremely well done here. I think that, you know, the way that it looks, like the CGI is very well done in my opinion, but that could just be me, no idea. But on the negative side, one of the other first things that I noticed is that the engines bounce up and down on their chassis while talking, like in Big World, Big Adventures. I was really hoping that wouldn't be making a return. Was really hoping for that, but what can you really do about that? You know, there's nothing I can really do about that. So that's kind of a shame, I guess, but it's not the worst thing in the world. That could just be me that's shitting on that. I bet that other people will probably not think it's nearly as a big deal as me, but I really didn't like the engines bouncing up and down on their chassis for some reason. I don't know why I hate it so much, I just do. As you guys can see, Gordon's face looks quite a bit different in the trailer than it does on the toys. I don't know why. I don't know why it looks that much different, really. That was another thing that I noticed, which is very odd. But at least the CGI looks good. At least the CGI looks good. Yeah, this is really good CGI work, in my opinion. I know that I've said that about 1,000 times already. And also the voices, you know, you could make the argument, oh, I don't want Thomas sounding like a little baby. But I don't mind the voices. I don't mind the voice acting. I'd say out of everyone, I'd say that the Fat Controller Gordon has my favorite voice out of everyone. I'd say that their voices suit their characters the most. You can see Crane Truck Jay right there, who's the new character that they announced, so that's fun. I guess he's going to be appearing in this special. I really like this shot of Thomas on the bridge here. Rosie looks good. James looks good, too. I mean, everyone looks good, in my opinion, at least. And I will be watching the special and reacting to it when it comes out, and I will be posting a video about that on my YouTube channel. So, stay tuned for that, I guess. I guess that'll be coming out September 17th, because that's when this is coming out on YouTube. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. It looks very good. I just hope that the story writing in this is decent, because if the story writing in this is, you know, poor, yeah, that wouldn't be very good at all, because, you know, this is kind of the opening to the new show, if that makes sense. So, if this story is bad, that could mean that all of the other stories coming after this one, you know, in the new show will also be poor. And this could be a Hero of the Rails situation, if that makes sense, where, you know, Hero of the Rails looked pretty good, but the early CGI seasons looked quite poor. So that we could be having another situation like that, where this special looks really, really good, but then the episodes following this one look, you know, not nearly as good. But that was just an observation that I made. I don't know if that will be true, obviously, but that's just a possibility, and I would like to put that out there just in case, because I thought about that, and I guess that I just wanted to talk about that for some reason. Don't really know why, but that's just me, I guess. I'm just glad that it looks good, okay? I'm just glad that it at least looks good, at least if it's just in this special. Even if it's not in the show following this, I'm glad that this at least looks good. Another interesting observation I made when watching the trailer is just the sheer number of times Bruno appears throughout it. Now, we all knew that Bruno will be returning to the show in some way, shape, or form through his new 2026 push-along item. Now, none of us knew, at least I didn't know, that he would be playing such a substantial role in this film, but my guess for that is that, you know, Mattel is a big corporation, and big corporations are not very good And what do big corporations like to do to make themselves seem good? They like to pretend to be inclusive. And as we all know now, Bruno is an autistic character. That is canon. So maybe they're pushing Bruno so hard to try to market themselves as being a nice little tip-top shape and tap and toes and fly little freaking all-inclusive company, when in reality they're massive and really not that good at all. I'm gonna just stop shitting on Mattel real quick, because I don't want to end up with some Mattel hitmen at my door. Something else really, really, really interesting in my opinion. Now, this is probably just me, to be honest. Scratch that. This is 100% definitely just me, because I have no idea how I'm seeing it, let alone how anyone else would be seeing this. This animation style, with the way that the engine's faces, with the way that their faces look, in particular their eyes, and the way that they're bouncing around, what does it remind me of? You know that goofy-ass 1920s and 1930s animation style that they modeled Cuphead after? Steamboat Willie and stuff? It's called the rubber hose animation style. Yeah. For some reason, this reminds me of that. No idea why. I guess it's just the way that they're bouncing around and the way that their faces look. Why am I mentioning that in this video? Because I had nothing else to really talk about, and I thought that I would. Okay, we obviously know that the CGI looks good and the voice acting is decent, right? All we need now is to hope for a decent story. Let's just do that, because if the story is decent, that would mean that we would have a pretty solid special on our hands. But if the story is written poorly, that's not good, because you know why? That could mean that all of the other stories that follow this one would also be written poorly. And if that's the case, then we have another, all engines go situation on our case. And I really hope that we don't. And the reason I say that is because if this is another all engines go situation where the stories are written terrible and this fails, that would mean that this would be the third reboot that Thomas and Friends has had in the last 10 years that would fail. And if that's the case, that could mean the death of this franchise. And we don't want that. We want this franchise to be alive, tip-top shape, tap and toes and fly, little sprawling and nice and spring and spry, like how it was when we were small children. That's what we can hope for, and that's what I'm going to be hoping for, because if this isn't written well, that could mean the death of this franchise. And I don't mean to be all negative and stuff, and I hope that doesn't happen. And I do have a lot of hope that this is written decently well. But that's all I'm saying, because if this is written poorly, it could mean the death of the franchise, and that's not good. We don't want that, obviously. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts on the new trailer in the comments below. Thank you all for watching if you've made it this far. Know the Indignity, signing off.